Imagine being just 16 years old. You've never been in serious trouble, never even thought about crime. Then one night, the police drag you into an interrogation room. And before dawn, you're confessing to a murder you didn't commit. That's exactly what happened to a boy whose life was shattered not by crime, but by the system meant to protect him. It all began when a woman was found dead in her home. The community was terrified. The police were under pressure to solve the case fast. With little evidence, they turned their eyes on a teenager who lived nearby. He had no criminal record, no history of violence. But in the eyes of desperate investigators, he was good enough. They brought him in for questioning. At first, he denied everything. He insisted he had nothing to do with the crime. But the hours dragged on. No lawyer, no parents, just two detectives in a cold, windowless room. They repeated the same questions again and again. They told him he'd never go home unless he told the truth. They hinted that if he just admitted something, maybe they'd go easy on him. For a scared 16-year-old, it was unbearable. After more than 10 hours, exhaustion set in. His mind was foggy. His body was weak. So when the detective slid a written confession across the table, he signed it. He thought it would all end there. He thought he'd be allowed to go home. But instead, he was charged with murder. The confession, shaky, inconsistent, and full of details fed to him by police, became the centerpiece of the case. The jury didn't care that there was no physical evidence, no DNA, no fingerprints. They saw the signature. They heard the taped confession, and they believed it. The boy was convicted of a crime he had nothing to do with. He was sentenced to spend decades in prison. Prison swallowed his teenage years. While his friends graduated, got jobs, and built lives, he spent his days in a concrete cell. He learned how to survive behind walls lined with violence and despair. He prayed for the day someone would listen. For years, his family fought to prove his innocence. They hired lawyers. They begged for appeals. But every court rejected them because the confession spoke louder than the truth. Years turned into decades. Hope faded, but it never completely died. Then a breakthrough came. Advances in DNA testing offered a chance. Evidence from the crime scene was re-examined. The results were undeniable. A complete mismatch. His DNA wasn't there. His fingerprints weren't there. Nothing tied him to the crime. The real killer had walked free, while an innocent boy had grown into a man behind bars. After nearly 20 years of lost time, the conviction was overturned. The judge admitted the confession never should have been trusted. The boy who entered prison at 16 walked out as a grown man, robbed of the best years of his life. Reporters surrounded him. Cameras flashed. People asked how he felt. But how do you explain losing half your life to a lie? False confessions happen more often than most people realize. Studies show that nearly 1 in 4 wrongful convictions involve a false confession. Many of them come from kids, scared and alone, pressured by authority figures they believe they must obey. This isn't just one boy's story. It's a warning about how fragile justice can be when the truth gets buried under fear and power. He confessed to a murder he never committed, and it nearly destroyed him. But how many others are still sitting in cells, paying for crimes they didn't commit? If you believe stories like this should never be forgotten, subscribe to this channel, like, and share for more videos that uncover hidden truths and social injustices.